the one thing I wanted to mention before we moved on to the next segment is there is a new seasonal rifle out now that is of the same frame as one of the final shape weapons, which is called the No Hesitation. If you remember, those of you who played Final Shape, you actually get a red bar version of this when you finish the campaign. And when you get 5 red bars, you can actually craft this weapon. But versus the support frame auto rifle that we're now getting with the new Season of Heresy, it is all RNG. So I do have a couple really good rolls here that I just want to show. Let me see here. Full screen. Let's hope this is the right one. Yes. The adamantite. I got one with tear and slice. Now, if I ever want to put a strand build together, I just have a feeling that these are going to work so well together. So I went ahead and kept this version as well. But keep in mind, it's all RNG. You can't craft these weapons. The other one I got, I'm really proud of this, is I got one with runneth over is the perk that's really nice to have with this rifle. Circle of Life and Reciprocity. Those work so well hand in hand, because when you run in the nether, you have to keep your enemy. I mean, health is everything. So the fact that you can shoot this gun and hip fire it at your teammates, it gives them healing energy. Well, with Circle of Life, you actually can create it where it does more damage as you're healing people. It grants the weapon improved period of increased damage when you're rapidly healing your allies. So I just got lucky with this drop. I just got lucky. But if you're not having the best of luck getting this rifle, I suggest going back to Final Shape and the Pale Heart and crafting the No Hesitation, because this rifle can be bonkers if you have it crafted. And what I was going to do tonight is I was going to fly to the crafting table, and we're going to build it together. And you guys can see how crazy this rifle can be compared to the RNG rolls of this Season of Heresy. So I'm going to put on my screen again, and we're going to fly to the Throne World, and we're going to craft this real quick. And I want to just show you the possibilities that this rifle has compared to the RNG drops that we're getting with the adamantite. So the Enclave. I never can.
Adamantite, a lot of people don't like it. It just doesn't seem, it's not even just the RNG versus crafting thing, but it just doesn't seem very stable, and it's just kind of an annoying weapon. So, well,
first thing, to unlock all the things on your crafting table, you do need to make sure that you're at around level 16 or 17 on your red bar. So I'm going to go ahead and manually, I have plenty of stuff here. I'm going to manually get it to level 17 to make sure I have everything unlocked, so I can show you guys everything you can do with this. And you're probably guessing, Kingsley, this is gonna, it's kind of proving my point that the crafting versus the RNG part, then it's pretty much the same rifle. But I just want to show you guys what you can do with a crafted rifle of the same version, of the same kind of rifle here versus one that you get to drop RNG. So I have it at level 17. I have to not have it on. I have to unlock it. And then we're going to run down here to the crafting table. I'm a very, as Kingsley probably knows, I'm very much a proponent of crafting weapons, because here's the thing. I get my five red bars, whether I get one weekly from, ranking up the ghost at the Pale Heart, so I can get that, so I can purchase or get a red bar every week, which takes 5 weeks if you wait it out, or you can just play the game, and as RNG will give you red bars over time as well. So, all right, so let's build this sucker. We need to reshape. Looks like I have one. No Hesitation. The first thing you're going to do, and people who have crafted their weapons probably already know all this, but I just want to show you the possibilities you have crafting versus just a plain old RNG drop. And I know you can enhance the two perks, the two main perks on the weapon, but let's see, we got handling, we got range, we got reload speed, and we got stability. I'm going to go with range. I think that's probably going to be the best thing to have because it is an auto rifle and I want it to reach all my allies as far as possible. So I'm going to get that selected. And this is all the different configurations you can go with. Depending on what you want to do with it, you can scroll over these and it'll tell you what everything will do for you is right here. If you want to, maximize your range, I'd probably go with probably chambered compensator or hammer forged well, not hammer forged. I've already got extended barrel on. Probably go with.
I would recommend maximizing stability on these weapons.
All right, then we'll go arrowhead then. We'll go arrowhead.
Because if you look at Light.GG, handling and range are about the same popularity, but handling's a little bit more popular than range.
The adamantite has a lot less recoil direction. If you notice, it's straight 100 on the or 95. It's pretty close to up, and I think 85 is the base on it. But if we go with arrowhead break, which let's face it, I go with arrowhead break on a lot of stuff. And then here
that's why on the adamantite they actually do recommend range versus stability.
Yeah,
because these two weapons aren't exactly the same. They're a little bit.
There's some differences, that's for sure. But I would probably go accurized rounds to get that range back. But you can go with steady rounds if you want to increase your stability. Whatever you decide to do here, you want rewind, reload speed, whatever you want to go with the mag perks here. You can go with bigger mags. Bigger size magazines, but I'm going to go with accurized rounds just because I'm getting a stability bump. Now I can get the bump in range as well. Now here's where it gets really fun. They have this little perk called psychic, or is it psychic? Yeah, psychic, or is it physic? Psychic. Rapidly healing allies grants you and allies restoration for an improved duration. If you notice, this is a solar auto rifle. So this is a no-brainer for me for survivability is I want to be able to give restoration. And if you've used any kind of solar subclass, restoration's the bomb. It makes you very, very resistant to damage. So I'm going to pick that as my enhanced, and I can get it in a regular form right here, but enhanced gives it just a little extra stuff. Think of it like as an adept weapon. Now my final perk here, I'm probably going to go, I could go with Circle of Life like on my adamantite. I can go with enhanced incandescent. I have several different options here. And now here's what I want to reiterate. Depending on how I play the game, I can make this rifle any way I want. If I want to be a healer, then I'm going to pick Circle of Life. If I want to be someone who's doing damage and healing my enemies, I'm going to go with enhanced incandescent. So this is what I have rolled out here. And then all I do is just build it. You can see what it costs. 46,000 glimmer, 17 enhancement cores, 2 ascended alloys, and 4 enhancement prisms. Here's the one thing I want to mention too, for people who have not crafted many weapons. Once I craft this weapon, there's no refunds. You can't swap out stuff and say, oh, I decided to go with this or that. Once this is final, it's final. If you want to come back and reshape the weapon, then you're going to have to pay for those perks again. And it's not a whole lot if you're swapping out perks, but there it is. Now we have a fully crafted restoration that I think is better than the adamantite because of this perk right here, granting restoration. Remember, adamantite is I believe it's it's not kinetic. I think it's pretty sure
strand.
It's a strand weapon. Okay. So strand. Yep. Now, granted, you can tie that in with some of your strand perks.
Yes. Strand. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Yeah. You can tie that in with some of your strand perks, but I now, because of crafting, I have the best adamantite I can ever get. Plus it gives me restoration. So now you're probably asking, well, who cares? The reason I mention this is because I'm a big believer in crafting weapons. Some people have said that crafting weapons has ruined this game. I'm very much on the opposite end of the spectrum. If anything, if you get those 5 bordered bars to be able to craft, you get the weapon frames to be able to craft your weapon. You still have to rank it up. You still have to do all that good stuff to it. But the main thing I want to mention here is the difference between an RNG weapon. These are very, very similar weapons. They're both the same frame, but they're very different ways you can use these two weapons. One you can craft, and one you have to wait for RNG drops. And I love that you can enhance the RNG drops right now, but this is yet another argument that I want to throw out there of why we need to bring and craft everything in the game. Because think about everything that's in your vault right now. Think of all the duplicate weapons. I mean, I'm going to show you my vault here. Look how many of these I got. Look how many summoners I got. Look how many tenacious masteries I got. I mean, look how many duplicate weapons I have here. I have a ton of these Belisarius Ds. I've got a bunch of those. I've even got 2 of these scout rifles here. And of course, all my exotics take up the spot as well. But I got this from, this is a Braytech werewolf. It became so good that I have actually 3 different rolls of these as well, but they're not craftable. But imagine this, if everything in here was craftable, think of all the space we would save. Think of all the space we could instead of me having 689 spots out of 700 already taken, just in weapons alone, if I was able to craft everything, I would have so much room in my vault all the time. Because guess what? If say another season comes by and Headseeker's no longer any good in Crucible, they've nerfed it to the ground. And let's just say that another perk for pulse rifles came out that's really doing well, and they've actually buffed. If it's crafted, I can take it right back to that table, which I just showed you, and craft it the way I want. Granted, I got to pay for it, but I mean, nothing's for free in life. But this is the reason why I really wanted to push this example here, because I was thinking about these 2 different rifles. One is randomly dropped and one is if craftable, and how different these rifles can be. Now, granted, I got very, very lucky getting those 2 that I showed you, but I bet there's a ton of people out there that have not gotten this kind of luck. And the one thing they have done, Kingsley, and you've mentioned this, is in Heresy, they are showering everyone with loot. So your chances of getting a good roll of these weapons is much higher. But I just want to mention, that's just a prime example right there of why crafting, to me, is so much more superior than RNG drops. Now, I know not everybody's going to agree with me, but I just...
Yeah, because already people in the chat aren't, and I'm not either, because this is not a fair comparison at all.
Really?
These are totally different perks on the weapons. Totally different. In fact, Tajo also mentions no one likes Adamante. It just doesn't have as good a perks as No Hesitation. So if No Hesitation, crafted or not, it's a better weapon anyways. It has nothing to do with the crafting versus the RNG. Sorry.
Well, the reason I use these 2 as an example, because they're the only 2 what they call recovery frames or support frames.
I know, but
it's the only 2 weapons in the game
that matter. And because Adamante doesn't have as good a perks for that, and some other things, then people do prefer No Hesitation. And it's not because crafting, it's just because it has better perks.
I didn't bring up my intention was not with maximum DPS of these 2 weapons. I really was not trying to do that. I was just trying to show the variability of in different ways I can equip the weapon for the style of game I play. That's the only reason I came up with that example tonight. So I might have been a little bit biased
too. Yeah, but not because it's crafted, because it's a better weapon. The Adamante, it has better perks. So.
Yeah. And Katsuo Vegeta in chat says, if you dismantle a level 3 enhanced, you get nothing back. So let's say you got an enhanced, I'm not going to beat this horse too much longer, guys. Bear with me. But let's just say I got a ton of enhanced weapons here. Okay, this one right here, the Redrix S-Stock. That's a bad example because I don't have it enhanced right here. It's the same one. I just have it enhanced. Let's say Sword Logic and Lone Wolf are killer right now. And I have these enhanced, which I don't know if you have to level these up just like you do a crafted weapon, and it's not cheap. But if I dismantle this weapon because it's no longer any good, they've nerfed these 2 perks and they're not what they used to be, that weapon's gone and it's in the ether. It's gone and you don't get anything back for all that money you put into it. People always asking me, Gator, why on earth do you have so few enhancement cores? I have 270 For all the time I've put in this game, that's all I have is 270 enhancement cores. You know why? It's because every time I get a weapon with some good rolls, I want to at least enhance the first level, because when I get kills with that weapon, I'm actually getting, it's actually leveling the weapon up. Like, remember Destiny 1, you had to level the weapons up to get it to be stronger. It's kind of the same premise here. So that's the reason why I'm never have enough enhancement cores. And I know that they're giving us more now with dismantling stuff.
You don't run seasonal activities enough to get enough back.
Could be too, but
yeah,
hey, everybody plays
drop like candy, like rain in the seasonal activities.
And and there's a ghost mod you can put on that'll give you more when you're playing Crucible too. So I play a lot more Crucible than I do PvE in this game, but I just want to throw that out there. But and that's a good point, Katsuo, because it's the only thing is respecting the player's time. If they're going to put time in to farm and just grind out these weapons, and then all of a sudden they have to make a change, you're not getting anything back for that. I'm just saying. Anyway, that was my pulpit that I wanted to hop on tonight, because when I saw those two weapons, I said, oh, and there was an article that came up too and said that, hey, you really need to build the no hesitation. Go get it crafted, because this is what you can do with it. Arguably it has better recoil direction. It has a lot of stuff that's better, but it's a totally
perks. Way better perks. Yeah. Than animate. That's why they're not the same comparison. I'm sorry.
Well, I really wasn't trying to compare apples to apples there. I was trying to compare two rifles that they're the only weapon frame that we have in this game, and how different these two weapons are based on not only the perks, because there's some really good perks. Circle of Life and Reciprocity is really good on the Adamantite for me. That's going to be a strong weapon to have there, because I'll get more power when I heal my allies as well. But just the fact that I have Incandescent and other options on the other one, because it's a different energy, makes it just makes it much better for me. But that wasn't my intent. I was trying to explain to you, for those of you who don't like crafting, I was just trying to throw you a bone out there of why this is just an example of how you have much more flexibility with a crafted weapon versus one that just drops out of the blue. All right, I'm going to shut up now. Thanks for indulging me, Kingsley. I know, shaking your head. I know, it's okay. It's all right. You can take Hazel's place and say, it's not going to happen, man.
Next week, come up with the two same weapons.
There you go. There's my homework. No, thanks for indulging me, man. Cause I just had that last minute. That's the reason why I was, a little discombobulated at the beginning of the stream, but I just wanted to throw it out there. Just one example of many. So, anyway, I think we got some questions from our community coming up here. So let's get on with that. We'll be right back.